I'm Jill Silverman Hough, Senior Culinary Instructor at Copia, the American Center for Wine, Food, and the Arts, and we're here today to talk about brining your holiday turkey. So what you'll need to brine a 12 to 14 pound turkey is about 2 gallons of cold water, 3 cups of diamond crystal kosher salt. If you'd prefer to use regular finely ground table salt, you'll need about half as much. You need about a cup of sugar. And then if you like, you can throw in some optional ingredients. You can use herbs like rosemary, thyme, or oregano. You could use aromatics like onions or garlic. And you could also use spices. Here I have some star anise, clove, juniper berries, and black peppercorns. So you can use any or all of these herbs, aromatics, and spices. I would recommend you limit yourself to maybe 3 or 4. So first let's talk about what brining is. Brining is soaking meat, fish, or poultry in a saltwater solution. Sometimes it's enhanced with sugar like we're going to do today, or like I mentioned with spices, aromatics, or herbs. And it greatly enhances both the texture and the flavor of the meat. Now, how does brining work? Well, it's kind of like magic, but it really is, I don't want to get all scientific teacher on you, but what it really is through both diffusion and osmosis, the saltwater solution gets into the meat and both makes it juicier and also makes it more flavorful. So it's just really win-win. Okay, so let's talk about what to brine. The best kinds of meats to brine are fish, pork, and chicken. That's just because they tend to be a little more flavorless, and they also tend to be a little easy to dry out. So those kinds of meats will benefit most from a brine. The kinds of meats that don't do well in a brine, or it's kind of not worth the time or effort to brine, are beef and lamb. And that's really for 2 reasons. One is those cuts will have more fat, which tend to leave them juicier, and also because those cuts are generally cooked a little rarer, which will also leave them juicier. So you could technically brine beef or lamb, but it really wouldn't be worth your time or effort. So then lastly, let's talk about the kind of cooking methods that are best for brining. The dry heat cooking method, so your grilling, your roasting, your broiling, those are best for brining because those are the cooking methods that will have the tendency to dry your foods out. Poaching, braising, steaming, those are wet heat cooking methods, and so those will tend to leave your foods more juicy, and so that's another place where brining just really wouldn't be worth the time or the effort. So that all being said, let's brine our turkey. So again, for a 12 to 14 pound turkey, I'm using 2 gallons of cool water. I'm going to add 3 cups of diamond crystal kosher salt and 1 cup of sugar. Now, if your turkey's larger, you can just use that same proportion. So the proportion is basically 1.5 cups of salt per gallon of water and up to about 1/2 cup of sugar per gallon of water. And I'm just going to whisk this until the sugar and salt dissolve. If you find that you're having a hard time getting the solids to dissolve into your water, you can go ahead and heat it up, and that will make it easier to get those solids to dissolve. But then if you do that, just be sure that you cool the water back down. Either, use half as much, dissolve the solids over heat, and then add the other half of cool water, or add ice, or just refrigerate the whole thing so that it chills down, because you don't want to put your turkey into the warm water. All right, so that looks pretty much all dissolved. Put that aside. And so now we have our turkey. And before the turkey goes in the brine, first of all, I've thawed it. And then I'm also going to take out the giblets, well, the neck, which is usually in the cavity of the turkey. And then in the front of the turkey, usually under a little flap of skin there, is a little package that'll have the giblets, so like the liver and the kidneys and things like that. Now these are good things to save if you're planning on making turkey broth for your for turkey gravy. All right, but then here goes our turkey into the brine. There she goes. Now you may need to add a plate, maybe weighed down with some cans or something heavy like that to keep your turkey submerged. All right, so just gonna put the lid on it, and then we're going to put this in the refrigerator for a whole turkey like this, 12 to 24 hours. So it's been overnight, so our turkey's finished brining, so we're going to get it out of the fridge. Here we go. Now, if you don't have a container large like this that will hold your turkey, you can also put the turkey in a large stock pot or soup pot, or you can even put it in a double layer of heavy-duty plastic bags. Just make sure that the bags are not recycled and also that they're not scented. And then if you can't fit either a container like this or your stock pot in your refrigerator, you can also have your turkey brining overnight in an ice chest. Just make sure that you keep the ice chest as cold as the refrigerator would be, and that would be 38 to 40 degrees. So surround your turkey with lots of those cold packs to keep it nice and cold in there. So after your turkey's brined, you pull it out of the brine, pat it down, get it nice and dry, and then you can go ahead and roast it. To learn about roasting a turkey, just look on Copia's website for that video. But one thing that you might want to do is, one of the drawbacks of brining is that it's not very conducive to crispy skinned turkey because all that moisture in the turkey just isn't conducive to crispiness. So what you can do is one extra step, and that is transfer your turkey to a wire rack set over a rimmed baking sheet like this. And then just leave it in the refrigerator to air dry, uncovered. Leave it in the refrigerator to air dry overnight. And that will be conducive to having nice crispy skinned turkey. So I guess that's all we have to say. So thank you for watching. Please check back for more videos on Copia's website, and have a great holiday turkey. Thanks for watching.